2017. Someone called me about an hour ago. I'm in Monroeville right now. They called me panicking. Oh, wow, Theodore posted a horrible video about you. Wow, okay, I have no idea why, but I watched a few minutes of it and thought, you've got to be kidding. Anyway, so I'm going to respond. I hate to have to do this. Theodore helped me get out of prison. He was a great help. About a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, he ran the Free Kent Hovind website, which I think is shut down now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But for now,
it leads you to his website now.
Oh, and now it leads to his website.
Yeah.
Okay, so when people go to Free Kent Hovind, it goes to Theodore's website. Well, I think that's kind of using my name for
absolutely
for his gain. But anyway, he really was a great help, great friend. He was the only one with me at CSE when we first got out of prison and helped start rebuilding the ministry. And he mentions on the video, I only saw a part of it, that he was the one who helped me, and that is correct. He did. He was a great blessing, and thank you, Theodore. And you are by far the highest paid person on the staff at CSE, nearly triple what I make, and I just, retired. And so I think it's a little unfair. You mentioned in your video that you sold everything and came to help me. Well, that may be true, but when you sold everything, you kept all the money. You didn't give anything to CSE. Wonderful, you sold your business. You sold your home in Arizona and kept all the money. Well, I don't understand. Anyway.
Actually, he bought stuff with that money to make money off of the ministry.
Right, bought duplicating equipment to duplicate our videos, and then was making money off our ministry, which is fine. Okay, we were subbed it all out to him. In 1 Timothy chapter 5, it says, don't receive an accusation against an elder, except to be before 2 or 3 witnesses. Theodore did not call me before making this video or give me a chance to defend myself. Any of you can call me, 855-BIG-DINO. Go to extension 3, and that'll take you straight to my cell phone, I think, won't it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And I'll be glad to answer any questions. So, I think that was unwise, Theodore, and I hate to have to respond publicly, and it seems like everything I saw in the video was extremely negative. I wonder, do you have anything positive to do or say? There's a war going on. Tomorrow we have our open house at Dinosaur Adventureland. We encourage everybody to come. I'm running around frantically trying to get stuff done for the open house, and I have just a list of miscellaneous notes that said, oh yeah, he said this. I'm going to try to respond to a few of them and go, Theodore, you were a great help getting me out of prison. Thank you. You were an awesome worker for quite a while. Thank you. Something snapped, though. Maybe 5 months ago, you came to me and said, hey, Brother Hovind, why don't you have the trustees sign everything over to me so that you can just travel and preach and I'll run things around the ministry? Bingo, red flags went up. I contacted the trustees. They said, whoa, what is this? Sign everything over to Theodore. No. What happened? God was really blessing. Someone donated the land a year ago tomorrow to the ministry. Great. People donated money to buy a motorhome and to buy a tractor, and God was really blessing. And I think the little green monster got in and said, hey, Theo, that ought to be you. Well, you go to school and get 4 doctor's degrees and teach on creation, and you learn what I've learned and teach what I teach, and get people to listen to you, and you can have what I have, or what God has given me. It's that simple. You keep mentioning the shack. Now, I do not make any money off the shack. I don't sell the book, The Shack. I read the book 9 times. I went to the movie. I thought it was great. If the author of the book is into this kind of stuff, universalism that everybody's saved, well, then I'm sorry. He's wrong about that. I do not believe that. Okay, you have to call upon the name of the Lord to be saved, and not everybody's going to heaven. Many shall say unto me in that day, Lord, Lord, did we not do all these things? And he's going to say, I never knew you. So if the author does indeed believe that, A, it doesn't show through the book that I saw. B, I don't believe that, and I'm sorry that he believes that. But the book was a great blessing to many. If that's all you can do is go around anti this, anti that, and anti something else, and think that's going to build your ministry, well, okay. You mentioned on your video, I saw that I threw my family under the bus. Theodore, you were there. I came home to nothing, absolutely nothing. I had trusted my son with all the assets of the CSE ministry. When I came home, he refused to return them. I had nothing. We started from scratch, and God has blessed amazingly. I slept in a separate bedroom for 9 months until my wife divorced me for no reason. No reason given. You can't fight a no-fault divorce in Florida. There's nothing I could do. The divorce in court lasted 6 minutes. You can't stop it. What else could I have done? Theodore, you were there. Come on, you know better than that. You said I'm a narcissist. We looked up narcissist, Steve. It was excessive interest in themselves. I don't think that's true. I thought narcissist meant a person who wants to be in control and run things. Well, I suppose I'm guilty of that. If I'm driving the car, I want to hold the steering wheel. If you want to give me advice, great. You want to reach over and grab the wheel? No, don't do that. I'll break your arm. And God has called me to a little ministry here, and I'm going to run it the way I think God wants me to run it, and end of story. If you want to run your own ministry, great. With your 40 people watching your stuff, okay, wonderful. Do whatever you like.
Up to 80 now.
Up to 80 now. The only way he can get, like Robert Batty, the Batso guy, the only way he can get famous is to pick on Kent Hovind. If you go back and search the archives, before he started picking on me, he had like 3 viewers and 3 followers. Started picking on Kent Hovind. No, now he's up to 100. Whoa. Leave me alone. Find something to do, okay? I'm trying to serve God the best I know how to do. So find something constructive to do. Go sweep the floor. You know, wash the car. Do something. Pick up the trash can in front of your street. Okay, anyway, I'm sad that Theodore is one of the very few people over the decades I've been serving the Lord that we've had to ask to leave. Now, Steve, you were there. We had a little problem with one lady who refused, really causing trouble. They're all volunteers out, well, most of them volunteers out at the camp. And she was really causing trouble. So my wife and I sat and talked with her and said, look, you need to leave. This is a camp. Nobody's a resident here. Nobody's a renter. You're here by our invitation, and we are revoking the invitation. You're spreading bad stuff. And so we asked her to leave, and I said, Steve, would you and Roger go help her pack? And you went over to help her pack, and she said, I don't want your help.
Right.
So then I told everybody else, please stay away from her. She's in a bad mood right now, and I don't know what the problem was. And Theodore and Lene, I said, Theodore, don't go in there, don't talk to her. And he says, well, I'm going to go help her move. And he and Lene went in anyway.
Yes, and in my opinion...
Scoot in here where they can see you.
In my opinion, all they did was give this lady an audience, because when they interjected themselves in that situation, it just caused us to go off the handle, which made us have to call the cops, you know, and then they accused us to be unchristlike when they were the one causing and doing all the actions. Me and Roger were just sitting there.
And that's when I said, Theodore, I think you and Lene need to leave. You can't be on the property anymore. They were staying together in what's now my office. I have no evidence they are married. They claim they are, but, you know,
right.
Okay, I'd like to see some. Why do you think you're married? Did you stand on the beach and say, okay, God, we're married? I mean, was there, my wife and I had a ceremony and a marriage covenant and a pastor come. But Theodore, this is all the classic case of a disgruntled employee is what this is. That's what this video that I saw that you made, and it's sad. You don't need to do that, Theodore. I'm your friend. I'm still your friend. I still love you. After we asked you to leave, we said, look, we still want you to continue doing stuff for the ministry. We'll still let you copy our DVDs, which you did for a while. You copied a bunch of my wife's DVDs on vaccinations and ruined all of them. She cost her $1,400 for your lousy work on copying her DVDs. But I don't go around telling people, don't go get Theodore's business on copying your stuff. He may ruin it. I probably should, and maybe I just did.
I kind of do.
You kind of do. Okay. Well, if you want to have I don't know what you're doing for a living now, Theodore, but if it's bashing me, I don't think that's going to make you much money. But you'd left under a bad situation. I'm sorry about that, brother. I hated to have to ask you to leave. You were such a blessing for so long. But you had to leave. And I think people watching your YouTube, or what is it, Facebook, now will see why we asked you to leave. When you left, Steve, tell him what he did. He was running the website.
Yeah. And, you know, and I don't know the reasons why, but in all his hatred and leaving, he took the passwords and the email usernames for the back end of the website. When our security certificate expired, we could not log in to fix it because the place where we're having it hosted says we need access to that, and he wouldn't give it to us.
And you called and texted and emailed and said, hey, Theodore, we need the passwords. Come on, you're taking over what he was doing on the website. And
right.
That we were down for 3 weeks.
Yeah, close to.
So 3 weeks, loss of sales, loss of evangelism, loss of getting people saved because you refused to turn over the passwords.
Over money.
What money?
He feels he's entitled to money from you, and I don't know
What do I owe him money for?
You don't, brother.
He was by far the highest paid person on the staff. I mean, he and his wife, if it's his wife, got probably 40% of all the money paid out of CSC.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't understand it, brother. Splinter in others' people eye, you seeing and a log in your own. I agree with that one. Okay, the shack. These are just miscellaneous notes. Okay, eat the meat, spit out the bones. It is a good read. I recommend it still. Okay, but okay.
He did that one.
Proof of Marriage did that one. Let's see. I got to get back to work. So when he decided to leave, we agreed to do business with him. Then that's when he increased the prices.
Yes, after he got a little angry because we was asked to leave, he started increasing the prices, and then the minimum purchase amounts we had to buy, and then when we cut him out altogether, that's when all the finger pointing and the name calling and the video started, because he wasn't able to make any money from us.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry to have to even do this. I got positive things to do. We're building Dinosaur Adventureland to try to win souls and influence people. And Theodore, you were a great blessing, and you could be again. But you have a bad attitude, son. You need to get it fixed. You need to go talk to the Lord and say, what on earth am I doing? Why am I doing this? I don't think Absalom ever did get the message, okay? He stole his dad's kingdom. He stole 10 of his dad's wives, and then sent his army out to kill his dad. For what? David, 5 different times in the Bible, said, what have I done? When David went to kill Goliath, his big brothers were picking on him. He said, hey, what have I done? 5 different times. You can count them. David said, Theodore, what specifically have I done to hurt you? You never missed a paycheck, ever. You got lots of business off of us. You were a great blessing. You built the website. You did some pretty lousy work toward the end and then sabotaged things when you left, and you had a bad attitude. We had no other choice. Now, tomorrow is our open house, and Saturday. Everybody that's helped build DAL, including you and Lene, are welcome to come. I'll give you a tour of the place if you'd like, just to see what we've done. We want to serve God. We want to win souls. And by you making this dumb Facebook video you just did, apparently going to be a series, you're hurting the cause of Christ.
Yes.
And don't do that.
Please. And
for you to say things about my wife is A, not true, B, cruel, and C, in most other cultures, dangerous, okay? Don't do that. Okay. Thank you, folks. If you want to get our materials, we have we're getting them produced elsewhere now, like right here behind me. And the quality is improved, and they are all working when you plug them in, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can get them from drdino.com. And you can, if you have any questions about anything, I did not watch the whole thing Theodore did. I'm sure not going to watch part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever he's got in mind. But if you want to call me, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 3, will take you right to my phone. I have about 10 messages waiting for me, and I will get to it maybe. If you don't get me, if I don't get back with you, call again, okay? I run a really, 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 really busy life, but we're trying to serve God around here. If you're not a Christian, what on earth are you waiting for? Give your heart to the Lord, get saved, and then find something to do for the Lord, something constructive. Theodore, if you don't like what I'm doing, go plow your own row, okay? I'm plowing mine as straight as I can, and I'm going to answer to God for what I do, and so are you, by the way. So if you don't like the way I plow my row, go plow a different one, but go serve God with your life.